Oh, well, I think it's good how you started with our, our grandmother. It's time. Could people have been better then, than what they are today when we think about it? When they could see the wrong, in gambling. Uh, don't you, when you look at it that way, don't you think time has changed a great deal? We've moved on and we move far on. It's interesting when you think about, the gambling. I used to love gambling, but when my children came along and I suddenly put an end to it because it just couldn't go on. The two just didn't mix. Bringing up children, and you need money, and you need a home for them, and you need good standard of living. No, the two just didn't mix. You need money and freedom to make money, gamble. But anyway, we're getting on to money and shares, stocks and shares. Yeah. It's a very thin margin between it all, really. I would have thought gambling with the lottery and gamblings in stocks and shares and gambling in marriage. Marriage is a gamble. You got a slightly better odds stacked against in your favor, and your ability to judge personas, but the majority don't. Yeah, yeah. Come to critical thinking in areas that our society don't want us to look down that road. They just want you to look at this side and that side at an angle where you can't see it, basically. Yes, falls in every area of our life. Take alcohol. What's the difference between alcohol and some of our most dangerous drugs that that's illegal today? I would think alcohol takes more life than any drugs that are around, basically. But you're looking at the area again that they don't want you to see. But when you look deep enough, it's very logical the way the whole society is set up. You find everything that you can do that is allowed by our rulers. Is that what's the difference between alcohol and drugs? Marijuana or LSD. I think the difference is, it's like, the areas that you can see a clear line drawn down is that whatever registers 0 in there, it's cool, it's alright. You're not thinking about what they're up to and what they're conniving about, but the minute you start thinking about what they're up to, then it's illegal. So if you take all these drugs, you alcohol, you stone out of your head, you're not thinking about what these people are doing to you and what they're up to, and but once you start looking at areas that you start thinking, drugs that makes you think and ask questions, and that's no good. That will be illegal. You can't think, basically. So that's how now when you come to critical thinking, you're starting to go into the areas that basically society don't want you to be be walking down. You know, they want you to be um, stoned. You know, but of course, they will tell you something totally different. It's the drugs that stone you out of your mind, and unfortunately, you know, they have, because alcohol has been around so long that they have to leave it alone, and they're making a lot of money there, collecting the taxes. But basically, what we're doing here is also part of the gamble. You know, it's when you look at life itself, you know, like you got politics, religion. You know, if you go against one area of politics, you lose a great percentage of your people that you can communicate with. Or if you with politics, if you're involved with a different party, you might, in this country, you lose 2/3 of people that you could be involved with, that will turn the other way because you're not involved in the area. Now it comes to religion, you're going to lose the vast amount of people again that would interact with you if you belong to a particular religion, like myself, which I tend to be a bit anti-religion. Not that I'm against religion, but I don't. I think they've had long enough to do something for our society, and they failed. And so I'm looking towards you lot. You know, this human race of ours that we grew up together and supposed to have loved each other, being taught through all the different religions we belong to. Somehow, you know, they failed us. You know, all I found with religion was it kept dividing me. You know, and same here. You know, you like most of the people on here, the minute that you're not involved with any religion, you've lost all the Muslims, you lost all the Christians, you lost every bloody thing. But never mind. It's like in politics, you know, we've lost a huge group of people because we don't believe and don't vote for them. So basically, we got a very small group, you know, that is watching us and following us. So see, that's a gamble again. You could play the safe route with which politics, you know, you to achieve in politics, you've got to play the safe road. You got to sneak in between all of them and convince them all that you're on their side. So what you're actually creating is a bloody cunning little snake, you know, and that's what we got. You know, exactly what we've got. And this is why the society is the way it is. You look at it today now, you know, gambling is cool, and drinking is quite cool. You know, it's going to be here with us forever. I think one of the biggest mistakes that we have allowed to happen is that we haven't created a society with transparency. You know, could you imagine if we were keeping an eye, right, on a banker, you know, who's running a gambling game, and you could keep an eye on him all the time and seeing how much of money he actually makes, you know, and let the game go on, keep an eye on his kitty building up and up and up and up and up, and we all could observe it. And we could see this mountain growing, you know, to is so large that, you know, that this guy's got to go and disperse all the money around. You know, if we could keep an eye on our society, on the mountain of money that we put into the society, and we could see that, oh, there's something wrong, you know. You know, like, should I really be gambling anymore? Because if I could keep an eye on the kitty that he has for the last 20 years, and it registers something in there that there's no logic in me gambling, because you know the kitty he has is so massive. All I'm doing is throwing money down the well, you know. But same with our society. If we could keep an eye on the mountain of money that we pour into the system, it would terrify us. We would be asking questions. Where is all this money gone to? You know, if we could see all these little kitties building up into these great mountains, and how it's been dispersed cunningly by the people involved, then we would probably have a different society today. No, life is a massive big gamble, but at whose expense? You know, is at the ordinary man's expense. He just needs to look back, and he's like myself, 58 years of life. What have I got to show for it, you know? At least if I was a gambler, I was going to, you know, I could lock this room and have everybody, the banker and all, stuck in it, in this room, that he could never leave it for 58 years. I could see the big mountain that he finally builds up from my stupidity. But unfortunately, you know, life isn't like that. There's a great mountain going on here and there and everywhere at our expense that we know nothing about, because we're back again, you know, to that critical thinking, because we don't think. You know, we just blank our mind and allow that to happen because we say that's the way the world go round, you know. But is it the way? Is this how the world go round? You know, if it is how the world go round, then we need to question it.